Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to highlight what smart investors know about ChargePoint stock. So let's get started with this brief video. And the main thing that smart investors are paying attention to with ChargePoint stock right now is what does Tesla's deals with Ford, General Motors, and Rivian to use Tesla's charging stations. What does that mean for ChargePoint stock? Is that bad news? ChargePoint business, is that bad news? Is ChargePoint going to lose a lot of business? Is it game over for ChargePoint? So that's the thing that smart investors are paying attention to. And management, of course, is getting that question. And ChargePoint is saying publicly saying like, look, it's not bad news for the company. ChargePoint benefits from Tesla's charging at its stations. Teslas are the most popular EVs in North America. So the more Tesla grows, the more people buy electric vehicles, the more people demand charging those electric vehicles, and the more people use ChargePoint charging stations. So ChargePoint management is of the feeling that, look, there's more than enough to go around, and Tesla's popularity is helping everyone because Tesla's bringing customers into the ecosystem, into the electric vehicle ecosystem, and that benefits all. So ChargePoint is adding the capability to charge any EV at its stations, whether it's the NACS standard or the CCS standard, regardless of what standard, meaning what port, what charging port the car is using. ChargePoint will add that capability to its stations so that you could charge any car at a ChargePoint station. So overall, in the long run, Tesla might be the market leader in charging electric vehicles, but there is a massive investment required to increase charging capacity around the world if we're going to transition into a world where we're using electric vehicles. Think of how many gas stations there are around the world, how many fueling stations there are around the world, and then think about how many charging stations there are around the world for EVs. The relationship is a stark difference, and there's just in fact, let me show you this one statistic here. So according to Bloomberg, the total cumulative investment in electric vehicle charging infrastructure in the United States and Europe alone is expected to be $60 billion by 2030 and $192 billion by 2040. That's just in the US and Europe, and that's just between now and 2040. There needs to be $200 billion of investment for electric vehicle charging. Now, there's very little probability that Tesla can do all of that. There's very little probability that Tesla can do all of that. Tesla can do some of the heavy lifting, but it's likely going to come from several charging companies. ChargePoint feeling that it is going to be one of those companies. And here's the statement from ChargePoint on June 27 saying that they announced that the availability of NACS connector options for new orders and for currently installed CP6000 to 50 Express Plus customers. The addition of the NACS enabled solutions combined with their J1772 and CCS solutions enables customers to serve the charging needs of any electric vehicle in any parking space. So that solves, well, that doesn't solve, but that meets that solution that's required by customers to be able to go to any charging station with their electric vehicle. And here's the company responding to the question of, what does the Tesla's deal with GM and others mean for ChargePoint? And, management saying they charge more Teslas than anybody else in the world because Teslas need to charge at office buildings around town and they use ChargePoint chargers. So charging Teslas is part of what they do. So the next step for them is adding a Tesla connector, which that was the announcement I showed you earlier that they did, and they've been trying to do it for a long time, and Tesla is now enabling that to occur. So we'll have an adapter as they always have to connect to CCS, and it will, the overall relationships, the deals Tesla with Ford and Rivian and GM will have very little impact on their business. Now, this remains to be seen in the long run whether it does or does not have very little impact on the business. But at least for now, management is saying that it's not really bad news for the company. So there you have it, the brief video on what smart investors know about ChargePoint stock. And right now, it's really surrounding the news about how the company will be impacted after Tesla's deal with Ford, GM, and Rivian. All right, but that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.